night train to Scotland, pulled by a Class 37 engine. As dawn breaks, it crosses the border bridge, the gateway to Scotland. However, soon this classic diesel engine is to be replaced. For normal passengers, this event will pass unnoticed. For the bashers, it's a tragedy. These are the bashers, hardcore devotees of the Class 37s and survivors of the 80s cult. They express their appreciation for the loco by waving their arms out of the windows, or flailing as it is known.
I've always said bashing really, it's like a professional sport with no trophies. The amount you have to put in to it is such that it's practically like being a professional sportsman. I don't think any footballer or any Olympic runner would have put no more effort in than I did in my heyday.
It's not an hobby, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lifestyle, it's not just... It's summer, you're either you do it or you don't. I've done overnights in Inverness. You get in Inverness at 1 in the morning and you end up in a multi-storey all night.
This guy looks at me and tapped me on and says, "Why are you taking the phone off?" I said, "What the fuck's it going to do here?" He goes, "Well, I'm from the States and all this, and what are you doing?" Like, "Oh, bloody hell, here we go." Well, I said, "It's MB, it's heavyweight, and it's hell. And it's new." I said, "It's new, the red penny's out." And he says, his eyes were like that going, "What the fuck?" You know, his brain's like ticking over. He goes, "You're not a train spotter, are you?" I says, "No, you cheeky twat, now fuck off."
This is their icon, the Class 37. Nearly 40 years old and living on borrowed time, clinging on to almost forgotten routes. Once there were more than 300, now it's more like 30. In bashing there are no rules, but the more Class 37s you have ridden behind and the more miles travelled, gain your respect from other bashers. Bashing is all about the chase, hunting the beast, from the Scottish Highlands to the Welsh coast.
They like the noise, they like the sound and the shape of them. There's lots of things that they can do and might only do once in a while, and when that once in a while happens, it sort of brings the people out to see it.
Fat Daz from Wigan, a basher for 15 years, hates the Train Spotter Association.
Because there's a train, and you're interested in it, you're a train spotter, and that's the bottom line. I'm convinced my mum still thinks I go and stand on the end of a train platform somewhere. 15, 20 years on down the line, it's still... What are you going there for? What you can't grasp with trains, you're into it from when you're like... we're talking, what, 12, 13 years of age. You're into it then.
But what will he do when it's all over?
Die in a corner. Curl up. That's what loud flush that is, isn't it?
At work in Thwaites, Blackburn, Rishton contemplates his double life.
I go out bashing and I have my Thwaites life and my social life ordinarily, and the two basically don't cross over. There's an element of mystery about what I do outside work. There's a few gaps, almost like I've come out from a prison sentence and didn't want to tell anybody. It's a little bit like that. The thing is, it's not that I'm ashamed, it's just that it's too complicated to explain. The bottom line is, you'd probably just turn around and say I was a train spotter, which I'm not. The thing about bashing is it's all or nothing. You can't miss anything. If something rare drops, then you've got to go for it, because it's never going to happen again.
One of the last few places to experience the Class 37 is the North Wales coast. Rishton has decided to film from his car one of the last regular 37 pulled trains.
It's now or never for something like this. It's something for posterity. It's something that'll mean something in the future to have recorded it on film, so it's got to be done.
At 90 miles an hour, it's a tricky enterprise, and one which doesn't quite go to plan.
Rishton, take it easy.
We didn't get the shot we wanted. The police turned up and we were cautioned. And Dad's insult to injury, he said, "Where's your anoraks, lads?" And on that note, it's pint. What are you having? 2 pints of lager, please. 2 large gins, please, landlord.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the first Northwestern service to Holyhead. This service will be calling at Chester, Prestatyn, Rue, Conway, Llandudno Junction, Bangor and Holyhead.
Of course, for bashers, photography just isn't what it's all about. It's about being pulled by a Class 37. And with precious few weeks left, bashers are out everywhere on the North Wales coast, making the most of what remains.
The bashers, they're alright, they're good fun, they come on, they'll always talk to you. You've got to have some passion to follow a train around the country, especially being as old as what they are. I don't know, it's having a passion for a little bit of history. What I get said a lot is the big, noisy and they rattle, a proper boy's toy. It's the best way it's been described to me.
One lucky enough to be paid for his passion is Gomez. Being a basher himself, he is keen to give his engine some thrash.
You could always tell in 80s mythology who was going to be a thrash merchant if he had white socks and grey slip-on shoes. Thrashing was what it was all about because, you know, it's the noise, there's a lot of power in these things. You know, it's big, it's loud, it's powerful, it's interesting, and thrash merchants were always what you were looking for. You know, British Rail had a computer which said where every train was, where it was going to be, where it was going to go, and when, and you try and get hold of that information. And it would be completely unreliable. It might be right, it might be wrong, it might have been intended to be right, but some bloke in Doncaster would change the whole thing. So that was what was interesting, and the opportunity to get the 37 that nobody else got because you'd got better gen, that was one of the things that it was all about.
This is the nerve centre of the rail network. Here, locomotives are allocated to trains around Britain. To the bashers, it is known as the Embassy.
The railway is run by rail enthusiast bashers. The highest level to the people at the bottom.
There are some people who've taken bashing very seriously, who've got themselves jobs in British Railways. That means that they can organise what engine's going to work on what train and can fix it so that when they're not at work, they can go on their favourite trains, or they can fix it so that people they don't like can't get favourite trains.
They try to stop 37s coming out when one is needed in an emergency.
We're waiting to see what happens with this one.
Also, it can make things difficult for normal passengers who might find their train delayed or cancelled or going to the wrong place.
One just rolled in on platform 9.
At Crewe, there is a major delay, and passengers are oblivious to its cause, a failed Class 37.
How come the guy on platform 6, or somebody on this platform, hasn't got the simple courtesy to explain to these people exactly what's going on? You're a disgrace.
That's good too as well. Depends, we're just waiting for the engine. If it's here before 10:2, this will go in front of it. 37710 is about to drop onto the 1719 Crewe Holyhead.
However, there is growing excitement among the bashers that the replacement will be a very rare 37.
But we're hoping that they'll all make it at Chester. Depends on what Doncaster have allocated. It's a 37er. And that would be the driver. I don't want you breaking this one as well.
Finally, the replacement engine arrives, and miraculously, it's a Freight 37, the holy grail for bashers, and extremely rare for passenger service. To be a main man in the bashing world requires many rides like this. One member of this elite hierarchy is Grandad.